and the bad. Thank you for the ministry. Thank you for the suffering. Thank you for standing against the law, Father, sending for your Son, for standing against your law, for the perversion of your agape, your 613 statutes, commandments. Thank you for Christ for coming back, because the halakha and the haggadah, the perversion of your law, and they created their own verbal and oral, their written and their oral law, and it was a perversion of your original agape, Father. So thank you for creating that agape, and thank you for sending your Son to fulfill the flesh, so that I know that I need not worry about who can take my flesh. I only need to worry about who can take my flesh and my soul. My only fear, Father, is I'm not doing this by your will, the way that you want it. I'm doing it as my own. But I'll continue to endure and let you fight my battles for me. As again, this live stream again is about, earlier I did a stream about your Miranda rights, the rights you're, I know I'm not under the law, so whatever happens, this flesh is irrelevant. It's all by the Father, after his own counsel and his own pleasure. He says he creates all things, so there's nobody doing anything to me that's not being done by his authority. He hides the high authority over this vessel and over any man. And any man that tries to prosecute me is only by the Father's hand, because he is the high authority. So thank you, Father, for the suffering, the tribulation, the things that I have to go through so that others will not. Thank you, Father, for allowing me to be the voice when others can't speak up. Even though I don't like my tour of service in the military, it made me understand, a commander, that you are my commander. You command this vessel. You are the wind and the sail. I'm just the vessel. So, Father, steer me through this valley of the shadow of death. I have not a want. I will not give thought, although I'm without counsel, because my attorney, supposedly in this current situation you have me here in the flesh, decided to just, under your Miranda rights, you have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford one, will be appointed to you. And in this case, the attorney just up and quits, doesn't call, doesn't do anything. So here we are again. So wanted to do another stream here before I called it a night, because it's a long day. I will ask to rally your support, and come Monday morning, because I am now the attorney quit. So I'll be calling and ask you as before it was called, and I'll make sure I separate the streams so you'll know that they're either myself, pastor, minister of this gospel, continuing to pastor. I will not give that rest, but I do need to make sure that I don't have anybody in here clogging up the comment section, because these are evidentiary streams, as I've done hundreds and hours of streaming trying to get cooperation from the state of Oregon and the local Lake County Sheriff's Office where I live. So this will be one of those streams. If you're coming here to troll, this won't be, I won't allow, I have moderators in here and they'll just moderate anything out. I appreciate you guys coming in. So give you a bit of an update. Remember I said I'd called the counsel, the attorney, Phil Studenberg, at the beginning of the week, and told him to get a hold of the district attorney and drop the case, or otherwise we're going to take it to trial. So I called him again today, and he quit. So my legal counsel that they have to provide just quit on me. So after 6 months, the state and the county have done nothing. So today I was on the phone with the Department of Justice, the federal government. The federal, I did not want to. I already tried for years to prevent this. They're the ones who kicked it into the courts. So Now they forced my hand, and since I have no legal counsel. My father is the judge. I'm not concerned. Remember Luke 12, though they'll throw you in front of their synagogues and their councils and their magistrates, and you're without, because now my attorney, once again, which I had to call, he didn't even call me to let me know that, quit, because I was requesting that he either called the district attorney and told him to drop the case or get ready prepared for trial. So that was enough for him to make him drop the case. So now I don't have a legal public pretender or defender or whatever you want to call him. And so I'll be relying on you guys to start calling Monday, and we'll take the weekend off, because I gave the Department of Justice, the federal government, the state of Oregon, the state federal Department of Justice, everybody a chance to call me today, and not one call either. I called the Fed. I didn't want to get him. Do you think I wanted to go chase waterfalls? Remember, brothers, sisters, I never asked for this. The attorney up and quits. What do I have to do this? Because there are people who will not and do not and cannot stand up. And I already have been, it's just been 6 months ago. They swatted the state of Oregon swatted my house. So I did request from the federal government that this is a conflict of interest. This should be taken to appellate court and probably Supreme Court. It is Abigail, one of the people that have to report to. She's part of the trial situation. Agrees that it is a conflict of interest and that I am being targeted. The state of Oregon has targeted me, shot me in the face, or ruined my vision. She knows all spoken with her again. And I told her I would have to probably summons her into court against Judge Vandenberg, because he did say that in this month he would drop it. So no matter what, the feds will be able to summons all this. All the evidence I have was out there, so I'm not going to try to make this a big feds, a big evidentiary stream. The evidence already speaks for itself, but just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update, let you know what's going on. Please remember, you have rights, under the Constitution, under your Miranda, your right to counsel is part of your Miranda rights. So you have the right to the First Amendment to speak up. So don't ever let them take your right to First Amendment. You do have the right to speech. And because I'm being targeted, I've had physical damages, obviously a lot of emotional things that are going on in my life, but I try to keep myself centered. My son is majorly concerned for his well-being. Truly in fear now, again, because I'm put in a position without counsel that they can't settle this case. And so if they just get a wild hair, they can come try to shoot me again. They did shoot my son. We talked about that in the last stream. They did end up, I had flash concussion grenade, whether it was thrown by hand, or I believe it was, because I found the pin, it did concuss right next to my face, and now I have ruined my vision and they have caused physical damage. So I like to see my accuser, and my accuser can't be the state, because the state's not, there's no person. I committed no crime, brothers, sisters. I've committed no crime. And if I did, let them convict me. My only judge that I'm going to recognize in this case will be the Father I am. The moderator will stand Christ in as my mediator. Thank you, Father, for sending your Son. Blessings that I'm so blessed to know that there's nothing they can do to me that I'm going to have to be anxious and lose my mind. Although I feel at times, it does, none of these things make any sense. Abigail again said there's no case. I've never seen a case like yours, Tracy, ever. This is an unreal. Yes, you have been targeted, and yes, it's obvious that should be taken to another county because you do not police yourself. So I've already called the state of Oregon. Now they've gotten involved. So, brothers and sisters, I had no choice today but to call the feds, and I didn't. I already called the feds before. Remember what we're going to get? So come Monday morning, I'm going to ask you again, Lady in Red, and everybody to, if you so choose, start calling these people again. I'm going to be up them like, I'm going to be on them like white on rice until somebody calls me. It's hard to believe that how many offices I called today. I called Tina Kotek's office, Kotek office, the governor here in Oregon. I called I called so many different places today, and I got not one single call back again from nobody. It's like I don't even exist. Like this is all just a dream. They can do this to me and my son, and not one dime has come in for legal funds, and then they have to legally, under my Miranda rights, provide me counsel, and they up and quit. The guy has never done anything. Only thing I got was by, literally forcing him to give me my right of discovery. And so that was already supposed to give to me anyway. So they already failed to give me all my right of discovery under the suppression of evidence and right of discovery. I know that they can't suppress any evidence they have, and they already did. So now I have all theirs, and maybe they have more, because not more than they gave me, but I just even looked at what they said, that I'm some kind of violent. I said that I would defend myself if somebody was to back me into a corner, and even when I was, and they swatted my house, I never called once for arms. So they can't say that I'm violent. They don't teach that. When have I ever told you, and this says that anybody's been a witness, to take up arms and go fight this government? Didn't I tell you to get away from it and stop participating in it? Grow tomatoes and stick it to the man. So it's kind of ironic that this same federal government that I think is corrupt, now I'm having to call to fix this state and this county. Maybe that's why they don't call me, because they know, and they have to look at these live streams, brothers. This Fed knows that they're just a corporation. They don't hold any authority over me either. So I'm not. Why would the federal government cooperate? I called the Department of Justice federal. I called the state, federal Department of Justice today. I called 5 or 6 offices today, and not one single return call. So thank you, Father, for making them not call me. I don't know why, but I know it's by your will. I got my puppies in. Yeah, slow down, buddy. Don't dart in the door, dog. You're coming in the door too fast. So, I wanted to give you an update, let you know the attorney quit. So we up and quit, and they didn't even have the audacity to call me to let me know. I guess he had quit already Monday or something. Here it is Friday. No paperwork, no nothing, no phone calls. And remember, they have to provide me legal counsel. So I'm going to again insist, and this is what needs to happen, brothers, sisters, because I've been screaming, drop the case, drop them all, and then I would continue to maybe pursue through their bonds to sue their bonds so they don't operate. Anybody that I've ever listed in all of these criminals, from Judge Vanderberg to all the way down to the lowest. There's some people who shouldn't be. Abigail didn't have anything to do with this. She's helped me. She knows about Tony Karsten, the rapist. How did she know? She's like the lowest man. Maybe she hasn't been, because she is lower on she hasn't been compartment. Let's not go there. Anyways, I don't know. She knew about the case. She knows that I'm being targeted. She knows that the judge said that the judge would drop the case by this month, and that I would summons her in court if I had to, and that she would be a witness to know that the judge did say that this case will not go on any longer after this month. So unfortunately, brother, sister, that can just happen. I can't just drop these cases. Then that's kind of like ripping Christ down from the cross, where you just erase everything he did. So I can't erase all the years worth of work. I have 4 years involved in this, and it's not like I'm asking for any compensation for anything myself. I had physical damages. I have, they physically damaged my body, my vision, and my hearing, and will they ever pay for that? I don't know. I'm more a little bit concerned about my son and my daughter getting their life back. They can't even talk to each other at this point, I think. So it's a little different, when we have counsel. So I'm not going to hear it anymore. And I've called the feds today, and this is the last thing I wanted to do, because I remember I've been trying to get this overlander and do other things. I didn't want any of this. So, but brother says, let's be real with ourselves here. You know, if I was just to drop this, that just waste everything I just did for the last 4 years. I'm trying to be the voice for people who have no voice. I'm trying to make the state and the feds and even everybody know that this is happening. This poorest counties have more rapists, murderers, and pedophiles released into their counties to fund these county parole and probation departments. This is not an isolated event. This is happening throughout the United States. And these type of situations are happening daily. And so there are people like judges and Judge Vandenberg who should be criminally prosecuted, wear shiny bracelets, who legally detained me and has record of all this, knows all. If he's the presiding judge, you can't tell me, and has I'd like to see Judge Vandenberg. I'd like to be there for the day of his conviction. Judges go to jail. Don't act like they don't, and see him put in shiny handcuffs because he's could have let me out a week early, like everybody, you know, like Dan Spencer. He needs to put in handcuffs too because he counseled me and my son in the same case. That's illegal. That should be disbarred, at least at this point. Never practice as an attorney ever again. Knew it and said he'd made a mistake, or he knew that, like said he was standing in for the Constitution after he'd already realized he'd made a mistake and went, oh crap, this that guy. I shouldn't have represented this guy. Actually, I'm standing in for the Constitution. He kind of made it clear that whoops, I shouldn't have stood in for him, but now I've realized my mistake, so I won't be standing in for him today. I'll be standing in for the Constitution and his constitutional rights. And he was protecting himself. So I have letters that says he resigned as my son's attorney and was still trying to represent him. So Dan Spencer's probably going to spend some time either. I think what he did was criminal. He's very aware, and I've told him these situations, and he's been lied to me. He said was my son's attorney still. So that's okay. Ted Martin will probably get a chance to duck out of this, guys. He will be moved from his last month, I believe, is next month. And that little weasel, that guy is the guy that if I ever do anything outside, you know, of this, because I want my son to be able to compensate it when he leaves, I will continue to pursue, not through vengeance, a lawsuit, a criminal lawsuit against Ted Martin, district attorney. He's the one who ruined my vision. It's not a personal thing. I have no personal. If he would just drop these cases and maybe we could have settled this, you know, in a different way. But now I will continue to seek out, like I said, like their evidence to me until I die. Not like I'm gonna die, like I'm gonna kill somebody. It was I would pursue this until I die. I'm not gonna drop this. Like that wasn't a threat of death. And they try to use that in the right of discovery. These people are idiots. An anonymous caller that if I was backed into a corner on YouTube, I'll be having you guys call, or I'll have you guys not come on my chat, and I won't want anybody in here, or I'll probably just turn the comments off and just do evidentiary streams. Because I just won't want to have anything to do with anybody when I'm doing this evidence stream. If you're not willing to help me, then you're just not willing. And if you don't worry about it. I won't have no personal anything against anybody who doesn't want to get involved. I have the federal government involved already. I have the state. It's not an easy situation. They came and shot me. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you. Remember, there was Sarah supposedly in the last stream. I don't know if that was just the feds or who that was or whatever. Sarah would, Lady in Red will know what I'm talking about. But I'm asking you to Vamoose, get the hell out of this chat. Don't ever come back while I'm doing a live stream about my particular case. I mean, I'll continue to try to teach lessons, and I'll keep the gospel separate. You can come back then, but I don't want anybody to come in here and jerk themselves or something, have some kind of happy ending over something that they can be. And I do appreciate, because I know Lady in Red will be a witness, that we did have hundreds of calls. People did really make a valiant effort on all sides last time, calling Lake and Lane, and you know, but this time I'm going to push a lot harder this time, much harder than I pushed last time. So if you were part of that hundreds of hours of live streaming, you'll know that what I'm talking about. Lady in Red will witness that we did make see, under this YouTube evidence and cellular data, anybody who ever called in to this live stream from around the world, they're going to have to summons their record. And so they have a case far beyond anything they can ever afford. So I'm going to continue to stack an unfathomable amount of evidence against this, because they have their evidence, which I know what it is. I know what their evidence is. I have the right of discovery. So I told Elijah, don't stop the vehicle to go home because I'm not going to let them throw you in a rape cage. I did not let my son. I know what evidence I have. Remember everything before all. I have 4 years. They've got 1 day. I've got 4 years of evidence. They're trying to convict me. They're trying to convict my son's wife for saying don't stop. And I don't know if that was me who said it or who said it, or she's listening to some music, or they're going to have a pretty hard time not having a warrant for her arrest, accosting and detaining her body under her Miranda rights. They have to show probable cause, reasonable articulable suspicion, and then provide the warrant. She wasn't on the warrant, and they illegally detained her. So she personally, on a separate note, still has that massive, probably has the biggest lawsuit against all these agencies because she was just an innocent bystander. My son, convicted of theft, did his time. Me personally, standing in front, I don't have a record, and I've not committed any criminal acts. If it's criminal for me to tell my son not to stop, then go ahead, bring your case. But remember, I told him not to stop because I knew if they would take him and put him in a rape cage, that I don't want some man to violate his asshole with his cock, and I'm going to be a cock blocker. I don't care what you think about me or anybody thinks about me. I apologize, Father, for the truth, but that is the truth. I am a cock blocker. You ever heard of a cock blocker? You're looking at the biggest cock blocker in the state. It is what it is. I'm not going to let my son's asshole get violated if I know he did his 180 hours already. Remember, he said that day, and I did. There's so much evidence. So just throwing it out there. It is what it is, you know. Would you let your son's asshole be violated if he did all his time and he made a mistake, but he did all he's only one? Would you answer my question? See, that I get tired of this. So I don't, sometimes this stream, man, it's so hard to do. Would you let your son or daughter's asshole be violated? Well, you couldn't, a lady that wouldn't, but a man's, with your son. And he committed not a person on person crime, but he did everything he was supposed to do. Would you step in front of that cock? Did he think it was possible for his asshole to be violated by some man? I don't think people of this state isn't taking me serious. I don't think you guys take me serious either sometimes when I do these streams. I know some people do, but very few don't take under what I'm saying, what I'm going through with these people in this county who've been subject to these cop suckers. Seriously, they suck. They don't do their job. They're trying to prosecute me for me going and saying, hey, you're not doing your job. That's what's happening. Hey, you're not doing your job. No, I'm not going to let you prosecute my son and throw him in a rape cage. Hell no, I'm not. I have all the evidence and mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains, and I've had for years. So seriously, brothers and sisters, what are you going to do? You don't like my verbiage, then go somewhere else, man. I don't, are you getting thrown? Do you all have federal, have to call the Department of Defense today? Or Justice, excuse me, have you tried for 6 months to get, even since, they threw it in the court to get them to stop? It can't go there anymore, brothers and sisters. It can't. This should be pushed into appellate court, as I said today, as I called the feds and Department of Justice and the Fed, the state, Tina's office here in the state. I called many agencies and told them that this is a conflict of interest, and that these police shouldn't be policing themselves. In this case, there's massive corruption from the top down, and that this has to go into appellate court. So, unfortunately, brothers and sisters, apologize for the blatant, openness, but these things happen, and why would you, not even one of you wanted to answer me. That's okay, brothers. No worries. I'm not concerned about anything you say or anything you do. You don't have to do anything. Father's doing all of it. So, hey, don't trip. I don't want to cause anybody to stumble, so don't worry about it. Remember, not even one single dime ever poured into my legal account. So I do appreciate the people who made calls, though. I probably will ask you to come in Monday and make some calls. Grow a set of balls and come in here and stand up for your country. Stand up for a pastor and your teacher if you so choose, and a minister who's standing up against a perverted law that's trying to prosecute my son when I have 100% evidence of his innocence, and they don't want to ever listen to it. Here I am 6 months later. I'm going to say cock blocker. I'm going to say asshole. I'm going to say things and apologize. But hey, this is serious business to me, man. I appreciate it, but I'm a little disappointed that this went this far. Remember, I was just trying to get my overland vehicle and go on the road and enjoy the ministry. But now They haven't extended anything, Lady in Red. The court date trial is set for December 21st. They did extend it that day so that the judge or so piece of shit Tom or Ted Martin can retire and he don't have to do this case. That's the only extension that's been made, so you know. And that's so he can chicken shit get his way out of it, so he thinks he's going to pass it on to the that's why I started calling the attorney and said, this isn't going to fly, man. You're not going to pass this on to the district attorney. You're the one who ruined my vision. Ted Martin, district attorney, Lake County, signed the special weapons and tactics warrant where this concussion grenade and here's the pin for the concussion grenade that was thrown at my face and now ruined my vision and my hearing. Wasn't necessary. All I was asking is, Elijah, are you okay? And then I get my vision taken out. They physically got violent. I never was physically violent. I want to see my accuser, State of Oregon. I want to see where's my accuser? Where's the crime? Where's the crime committed? Person on person. There was no person in crime. I didn't commit any crime. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was put in jeopardy. Even that day that Elijah was told, no, Elijah, drive home. Don't stop this car. Drive home. He didn't, in the discovery of evidence, he didn't speed. They're lying 100% under 100%. My son didn't do a U-turn in the middle of the road. He never did a U-turn in the middle of the road. No, this one isn't, because this has a pin. So this was, somebody pulled this off by hand and threw this at me, which you see where it at 45 seconds. Somebody had to pull. This isn't a weapon fired. This is, remember, 6 of these. Remember when I came back finally after getting out of jail, guys, how if you watch remember I couldn't even get my hands open in here, how I was literally getting tear gassed myself and my animals. You know, for a couple weeks, I was trying to clean it. And every time I would stir this up in here, they shot 6 of these in this house. They would stir this up. And I literally, I can't believe I didn't, how I made it through that time. After spending 2 weeks in jail, I sit here for 2 weeks to clean this up. And every day I stir this and breathe this and get it in my system. It would take one of these in your house. You would need a professional cleaning company, and I'm off the grid. I don't have running water. I had to do this all the hard way, sweep it off everything. And they shot 6 of these into this cabin, into 8 by 40. What's the square footage of that? That's not even 400 square feet, brothers, sisters. That's insanity. That was way overkill. This is shot from a weapon, though. This is shot from this is a grenade. This is, it's got a soft, that hits so this hit, it can cut, and it concusses inside of this and opens this fire. That's what sprays the gas out of the backside of these. Right. That's where your seal comes in. So 6 of these were shot into this house, and there was more because they missed. They shot and ruined. They not only broke out of the windows, but they broke the seal. So I couldn't even have the frame. So I couldn't even have the window fixed because they wasn't able to obtain and actually hit the window. It would be like hitting the corner right here of the phone, if that was the rim around the table. So, the window. So all this was unnecessary. I have been scarred for life. My eye is scarred for life. I will never see the same again, and I will never hear the same again. I don't think that was necessary, brother, sister. So I'm not very happy. I'm not happy about this because I thought this was going to, at least get taken care of. But I'm fooling myself, just so you know. Oh, they're going to drop it. They're going to drop it. Then what happens? It just gets swept under the rug. That can't happen, brother, sister. That can't happen. That can't happen. I will not allow that to happen. Tom Rourke needs to go to jail. Sam Birch, jail. I think every one of those people who came out here that day in those SWAT vehicles should spend time in jail. Why did they ever ask about Elijah's 180 hours? No, they just came out here, 25, 30 men, plus all the other guys with the Lake County. How many armored vehicles did they bring out to this house? I remember Christie. I've never seen that many. The cleaning. I've never seen that many armored vehicles. Never seen that many SWAT. They met up at the restaurant and said they were going to come out here and kill me, brothers, sisters. They bragged on what they were going to do. They had enough balls to meet at the same restaurants that I was standing up asking them to use the SWAT vehicles, Michael Taylor, to come out and protect the businesses during the COVID. Maybe a little butthurt. But, they ended up using the same SWAT vehicles against me, shooting that you can see them in the live stream if you want to see. It's a 16-minute live stream. So I'm going to stop talking about it. Okay. I don't want to run this into the jail. I already did an evidence stream. I don't need to say anything else. I mean, whatever. They can't even take this to. They just, brothers, sisters, in this county, unfortunately, it is a very poor county. It's the poorest in the state of Oregon. They had to just drop the 911 dispatch out here. Yeah, they don't even have enough money to get 911 dispatch out here. So I really don't want to sue the county. I never said I would. I will go after all these people, not vengeance, bonds, so they can't work in a law enforcement capacity or community or public servant officer again. So I hope to see Judge Vandenberg in jail someday, imprisoned. Yes, I hope Judge Vandenberg spends time in prison. Judges go to jail. And I hope Ted Martin, the prosecuting district attorney, even though he'll probably, once this gets settled, not even be he'll be retired. I will, after everybody else, will probably still be working. I'm pretty sure. Ted Martin won't. I will file in. Go back over to your dad's over next door, girl. You got the other puppy at the door. Probably wants to come in and hang out with the other puppies in here. But anyways, Ted Martin's criminal, 100%, and I will be pursuing a civil and a criminal lawsuit, personal lawsuit against him for physical damage. He is the one who signed the special weapon tactics, showing you just what he did and had them use these. They shot my son that day. They illegally detained my daughter, and so she needs compensation. He needs compensation. I'm not looking for a lawsuit, personal lawsuit against any one of these officers or anybody who's involved, but I will 100% be pursuing their bonds so that everybody that was involved in the case, they're all bonded, licensed, and insured. So I do want to make sure that their bond is sued. If you sue their bond, most of them have probably $500,000, some $2 and $3 million bonds. If myself and my son and my daughters, all of us sue their bond, they will not operate. Judge Vandenberg will never be able to be a judge again. Ted Martin will never be able to work as in a capacity of law enforcement, community service. Kresha Brunsman, all these people, I will be pursuing. I don't think Ted Martin will be bonded anymore, so I will not be able to go after Ted Martin's bond. But I will be filing a personal, criminal, civil, and physical lawsuit that he caused physical damage to me, because he's the one who signed off on the special weapons and tactics warrant. Okay, that was unnecessary because I tried to get him, like I called him today, brothers, sisters. I called him today again too, and he never called me. I called Ted Martin today. You chicken shit, Ted Martin. You are such a worm, thinking you're going to worm this way out. I hope you have to still listen to all the evidence that was against you. I'm calling you a chicken shit to your face. I looked at you and told you you were a criminal to your face. I'm not afraid to call you chicken shit, but what a chicken shit weasel to try to worm his way out and pass this on to this new district attorney, when he's the one who caused the physical damage to my eye and my ear. Now, we'll go, and there's all this house and all this other physical damage that was caused. You think I'm going to be compensated for my fencing? All the corrals, all the pens, all the animal stuff they ran over. You think I'm going to get for the field fencing's not cheap? All the poles I have to read, all that. You think I'm going to get reimbursed? My windows are still have holes. They got them taped up. It's wintertime. I got to keep the fire going in here. I told you, I'm glad it's a little more moderate. There's still tape on the windows. I haven't been able to get those. I haven't been able to find replacement windows. So, you think the state of Oregon is going to pay for those? You're hell right. They're going to pay for all this, brothers, sisters. State of Oregon will pay for all this. Lake County Sheriff's Office will pay for this. Judge Vandenberg will pay for it through his bond. Ted Martin will pay through his bond. Sam Birch is bonded. Lance Brown is bonded. All these people, Kresha Brunsman. Remember all Officer Black, Sheriff Dumar. How come I have a Lily Frank? You're bonded. Ryan Solberg, you're bonded. All these people involved, brothers, sisters, are not going to get away with this. So the best thing that could have ever happened is this not to get dropped. because then it would just get swept under the rug. So this is what Father wanted today for me. And as much as I didn't want to hear the news, well, Tracy, if you'll let us talk to you, we have something to tell you. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're not saying, hey, we're getting ready for trial, here's what we need to know, or he called Ted Martin and it's dropped, then I don't want to hear it. Okay, well, okay. All right, well, Tracy, just let you know. Bill, he quit as your attorney. Really? You didn't even call me? Well, yeah, your call last time demanding that we either go to trial or we call Ted. He doesn't want to be your attorney. He quit. What a loser. What a loser. I already called the feds and I called the bar about him too today. I called the bar. I called the Oregon State Bar. I called the feds, called the Department of Justice feds, called State of Oregon Fed, DOJ. I called Tina's office, the governor. I'm just getting started in hell. Oh, yeah, we got hundreds, thousands. They're not. I already told that attorney it cost you. Maybe he just quit because he couldn't do it, brothers and sisters. Maybe he just quit because he knew he couldn't afford it. But I never got a phone call. What a loser. What a loser Phil Sturdenberg is. I like what Kevin said to me today. Kevin said, Tracy probably quit because he doesn't have any interest in this. He's not part of that county. He don't want to cost his county all that money. Remember, he's a representative of Klamath County. He's not. They had to get you an attorney from a different county, and now he just quit on me. What a loser! He never did anything. Not one single. What a loser! I want to show you a loser. You're being pretty. He didn't even show up last time I went to court. Never even called me. Hey, I'll be there. I won't. Nothing. And then remember, he was supposed to call me. See, I think that's why he quit. He got put on Front Street. Tracy put him on Front Street. Apocalypse. I put him on Front Street, not capital letter Tracy. Put him on Front Street in the courtroom and told the judge, don't you tell me to be quiet. This man didn't call me when he said I have the right to speak up. I have the right to tell you what to use your Fifth Amendment. That's what I told Abigail. You better tell that judge. I said again, if he tells me to shut up in that courtroom and stomps on my First Amendment right again, the criminal Judge Vandenberg, I will be making a massive scene in his court as I've not made any. I've been very calm. Luke 12:11, do not worry. If they put you in front of their synagogues, they throw you in front of their magistrates and their judges, their men in their black robes, brothers and sisters, and ye are without counsel. Do not give thought to what you shall say. I'll give you the answer in that time. So I know when I go in there, brothers and sisters, I know when I go into there, my mind, my life, the Father holds authority over me. He holds authority. He made that judge say he's going to say, he's just some man in a black robe. I'm not fearing anything. Fear who not can take your flesh, only fear who can take your flesh and soul, and that's the Father. So I don't fear some man who hopefully someday I will visualize, and I'll have to look around this whatever, flashbang, concussion, hairline, whatever. They burnt my retina to see Judge Vandenberg get. So you turn around, put your hands behind your back, get put in shiny bracelets and see him not out of vengeance. He should never serve as a judge and a criminal. He's a criminal and in a law enforcement capacity ever again. Community public service should be disbarred. And that would be not out of vengeance. He's a criminal. I have proof. He kept me in jail an extra week illegally. There's another accosting that he signed off. He's the one who was part of this warrant with the special weapons and tactics. So he definitely needs to do some criminal time. Ted Martin, I can't wait till he gets arrested. Turn around, put your hands behind your back, gets put in shiny bracelets. All these people need to serve time in prison. I don't think this is something they should just be disciplined for. They've had years to fix the problem. So unfortunately, today, brothers and sisters, well, I guess Monday I didn't get a call, or Tuesday or whenever this thing, I don't have counsel anymore, so they cannot settle the case. Good. I'm not settling. Good. It should go to appellate court. Good. It should go. You don't let an agency police throw himself. I have 100% proof of police targeting not only me, my son, and not even my son's daughter. Why would you convict her? You know what I'm saying? So, hey, anyways, I appreciate it. I'm not going to go on too much longer. I just want to give an update. So I don't have any more counsel again, guys. I said I was going to fire him if he didn't go to trial, or you know what I'm saying? If he said, hey, if you say plea agreement, I'll say these two words, you're fired. No, I'm not going to. They're going to take it to trial. No, they're not. At this time, I do, brothers and sisters, I believe this is the Father working today. And if the case just got dropped, then it would just get swept under the rug. You want to rip Christ off the tree? That would be the same thing in my eyes. It's hados, the same narrow way. I don't want this just to get dropped. They do this to other people. This is happening in other. Pull your head out of your ass. Don't just sit in here and entertain yourself. Seriously, your head is in the dark. If you think this is not happening in your state, it probably is happening in the poorest county in your state. I don't mean to be so blunt, but this is just so uncalled for, and the only, like Abigail said, I've never seen this happen before, Tracy. How your case is being handled is not like anything I deal with this in a day in, day out basis. Yours is unique, not like any other. So I know that's the Father. Hallelujah. That's the Father, right? I told you I see him in the most difficult of times. When things are on their absolute worst, because things couldn't be any worse like that. I mean, come on, man. No, this is the Father. Although it's tough, it can't be settled, brothers. Just, unfortunately, if I don't get to run to the woods and I'll still be a teacher, I'll still be a pastor, but still minister, but I have to deal with this. I wanted to leave the phone alone. Remember, get away from all this. Unfortunately, this is probably going to get drug out into the courts, and hell, they might even try to bring more charges against me. Do you think I care? I don't. I only care that I'm not serving the Father with his will, and then somehow this was my own. Like Luke 10, 34 through 39. At the end of that passage, he who loves the Son more than me. I'm not just doing this for my son. He loves himself. He was not willing to sacrifice spiritually, brother, says his flesh for my Shem, for my name's sake, is not worthy of me. Anything. This can't be my will. So I can't make this about me. I am a part of it. Unfortunately, I'm standing up for people who don't have a voice. They prosecute people like me, brothers, sisters. Snowden, Julian Assange. Okay, come on. The Hammonds, look what they did to them. Judges are corrupt in this country, brothers. Just don't act like every judge that sits up on that bench has never done anything illegal. So in this case, from the top down, they're illegal in this case, and I should have, with cellular data and evidence, have more to play. So there's your update. I will be asking you to get involved Monday and make phone calls for me, though, please. Don't come in here if you don't want to help out, please. Don't just sit in here and entertain yourself. This is not entertaining at all. I hate the federal government. I hate the federal government. They're a bunch of freaking alphabet soup agencies. And today I had to call the people that I constantly tell them that they're losers, from the Department of Defense, Department of dipshits, all the way down to the Federal Bureau of Idiots. Now I had to call the Department of Jackoffs, the Justice, whatever. They're a bunch of jackoffs. Nobody called me back today. Not one single call. I called federal, state, federal, all these offices, many, and complained about. I didn't talk like this to them. I mean, I spoke my case, but I didn't call them a jackoff. Hello, is this the Department of Jackoffs? Oh, I got the right jackoff office. Okay, listen here, jackoffs. Why didn't you get involved already? I've already called you before. If you're not jackoffs, you're definitely act like a bunch of idiots. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah. Down to the Federal Bureau of Idiots, imbeciles, whatever you want to call them. What is it? Investigation? They should already showed up at my door today. If this was that, no, they've known of this case all along. Remember the warrant I called out? I've called the feds. So F the government and F these alphabet soup agencies. And Father, I don't know why you put through these difficult times where you have to have me calling these alphabet soup agencies, and they're going to look through all this stuff, brothers, sisters. It's so funny. I love it. Thank you, Father. They're going to look through all these YouTube videos and all these streams going, this guy's calling us out, saying we have no authority over him. We're just some corporation, and now he wants us to help him. No wonder I don't get any calls, huh? F you. That new stupid Elon Musk department that Donald Trump made this office of whatever. How about we find out why Donald Trump's house is decorated with Satan, and then we'll start with that. And why didn't he put Hillary Clinton in jail? Why didn't he audit the Fed? And we'd like to see an audit his bank account to see how much money under buttons, banners, websites, all the print were all designed, for the Hillary for prison, buttons, banners, t-shirts, how much money, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars were funneled into his account. And she sat 3 bodies away from, they're both criminals. They should go to jail with Judge Vandenberg, but whatever. People think I'm crazy. So whatever. I got, you're not me. You wouldn't imagine. Could you imagine when you have to call these same offices, then you guys know damn good and well that I call them out every single day. I call them every single day. I call these people out as absolute criminals. This whole corporation is a sham. I'm a man who's pointing out corruption in my own county because I want to live in this county. I don't want police officers in my county and judges that are corrupt. I can stand up for this. If they want to prosecute me, so what? People don't have any balls out here because they got these law enforcement thugs with these really multi-million-dollar farmers who are able to run roughshod in this town and normally run people like me run out of here. No, not people like me. I'm not that guy. I've never been that guy. I sat in the Chamber of Commerce in this town and told everybody what was going to happen in this town. Not like I'm a prophet because I know the economic cycle and the growth and things. And, oh, you're a bad man because no, it's not. We're going to keep it all to ourselves. And so it didn't happen. Everything I told these people, brothers, sisters, ended up coming to fruition. Well, at least the town itself, what has happened out here. So I'm not some kind of idiot. I'm not stupid. I have an idea. I want to know what's going on in the doings of the town that I've actually chose to purchase land from. I've never purchased land anywhere else in my life. This is the first time, 10 years, so you don't shit in your own backyard. I'm not going to let them shit in mine. So, I don't care who you are. I'm a veteran. Prior lot, you put your pant legs on one leg at a time like me, so you ain't special. Nobody's above me. That's what I teach. That's pride. Not one single man is above you or below you. God will take care of the separating the wheat from the chaff. Love thy enemy like thy love thy neighbor, like thy love thyself. So I've never been a violent man, called for violence. It's kind of ironic. Again, we got an anonymous call that if he would be backed into a corner, he would strike and that he would fight to the death. No, I said I would, fight to the, I would not stop, not violence. Then I'm not going to give this up. Remember, that's how after they let me out of jail, I went right back to live streaming. Did I let it scare me? Did I move away? And I went right back at doing what it is that I've been doing. So, I left this alone for a while, right? I don't want to bog you guys down. I still have to be a pastor. I still have to have a teacher, but it doesn't mean these things aren't going on in my life. So, imagine being Pastor, Minister Tracy Apocalypse having to be the guy that's calling the Fed, that's calling him out. You ain't no piece. You guys are pieces of shit. Whatever. I apologize for my cursing again, but that's what I've been doing. Anybody want to dispute that I've been calling out that they don't have any authority over me? They're just a corporation, and I have to call this alphabet soup agency to come, underdog or whatever to the rescue, Superman, whatever. It's funny, man. I'll be glad to die, guys, and I love you, brothers, sisters. I'm not calling for death, but this is just, it's cumbersome. Remember, I just had just a day ago or something on the 13th. I don't get older. I'm eternal, remember, but I hit that date where I was like, man, I was hoping when I hit my Jubilee year, this would be my year, man. This has got to be my best year yet. This is the worst year I've ever had in my entire life. It turned out the complete opposite of what I thought it would be. I was going to build a son who was going to come out here finally after all these years, convince him to come back out to this valley, be with me, be with crazy old dad out here in East Valley where he knows this call of law enforcement. But he's going to put all that aside. We were going to build a house together. His wife, they were all working. They were bringing, and then bam, we don't get to talk to each other. We're all separate counties. All my precious metals get stolen. Not one single dime of, not one penny has rolled in for legal counsel for me. Not like, it's okay, brother, sis. I was hoping an outside agency would step in by now. Remember, I was trying to have you guys call, but not one single dime has been contributed to, hey, Tracy, you must be in a rock and a hard spot, man. No counsel? Man, you're like an Edward Snowden, or you're like a Julian Assange. You're standing up being prosecuted, man. Here, we're gonna give you a hand. Not one single penny in my cash app. Oh, thank you for that, Father. Remember, you without counsel, worry not what you shall say. It's okay, brothers, sisters. I'm without counsel again. Don't you worry. Don't you put a penny in that cash app account. I'm donating everything I own anyways. I'm gonna watch you mark my words. You mark them right now. All these lawsuits, I'm not filing any against the county. That would take away from the taxpayer. I don't want to do that. Or the state. I don't want to do that. But every one of these officers, public servants, capacity that I go and their bond is sued so they can't operate, it will be given. We will do this if this channel's still up. we'll show you that money will all be donated to High Desert Faith and Truth. I don't need money anymore, brothers and sisters. I don't need anything anymore. My life just got ripped upside down. I don't even know this overland thing. I'll still build it, but I think my life's going to be kind of covered with going to court in a federal court, and probably maybe even have to relocate at this point because there's a conflict of interest. I am being targeted. They already shot me in the face. I do have a fear for my life at this point. And not like that, because they're vulnerable again. They really are. They come out and do whatever they want to me. I'm not without, I don't have counsel anymore. So they can kind of, this is all up in the air. They backed themselves into a corner, not me. I tried to get them to do something. They painted themselves into a corner. So I am the target. I'm the one who takes the blunt of this, and my son too. I hope they would never do anything, and they already have to him. So they shot him too. Don't think they wouldn't try to do something again. So you just keep living your little whatever. I hope you're taking up your cross as your teacher and your pastor. That's what's more important. You don't have to worry about what's going on with me. Wrestle not against flesh and blood. Principalities, power, spiritual wickedness in dark places, right? In high places, the children of darkness, the rulers of the darkness of this world. Okay, this is what Father tells me to do. In your case, the principles might just be standing against, hey, we don't celebrate Christmas. We don't celebrate that. That's the law that we're not under, but that could be everybody gets a different. Never give that shekel to him. You didn't use what I gave you. You buried it. Wait, give it to the rich man. Wait a minute. Yeah. I hope you're using what he's given you. Okay. I'm using what it is that has been given to me according to the measure. You think I want this? I want to go run away and just catch anything but brown trout and eat them. We're not going to eat any brown trout because they're natural and they're awesome. And I want to eat brook, rainbow, and cutthroat trout, but I don't want to eat the brown trout. I want to put them back in the river. I haven't had a fish I did not call for violence. So this state and this county don't have a pot to piss in, and I'm whatever. I don't care if they throw me in prison, brothers. I don't care. You can't do anything to me can't do anything to me. You cannot do anything to this flesh that is going to not be the will of the Father. So I don't care, brothers and sisters. I just give me transform. I'm going to call that a stream. I don't want to keep you guys here. I'm going to be back in here. I'm going to expect some cooperation from you guys to make some phone calls. If you don't, just don't worry about coming in here while I'm doing this. I'll do separate streams. I'll make sure if you see anything that's spiritual, come on in. If it looks like it's legal in my case, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here. If you don't want to help me, don't worry about it. You just need to be taking up your cross. You don't need to get involved and do any of this with me. That's totally said. That would be by your own will and your own accord and by the Father. But if you come here for the gospel, I don't want you to think that I would like to keep this separate. Like, you don't stick your ink in the company well, right? You don't date somebody you work with. That could be a problem, right? Come on, let's keep this separate. Please, can you keep it separate? If not, just unsubscribe now. I don't need you either way. Love you. Love you. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm being serious. I'm tired of this. This has gotten this far in this country because many of you guys, I love you, brothers and sisters, but you just shut up and go to your job and do your thing, man. And you should have been standing up a long time ago. I love you. I'm not asking you to change anybody. But Father never tells us, and through his Son, to not just shut up. He does tell you to go speak up. You don't have to speak up in this case, but you should be speaking up against people celebrating things, a perversion of the law that you see. You think it's okay to be a corporation in this case? Are you a corporation? Why do you let them enforce corporate law against you? Is your name written in all capital letters? I said SELF. Narrow it. Broad is the way to all capital letters. Broad, no narrow, all wide, all capital. Broad is the way that leads to hell. Narrow is the first letter is capital, the second isn't it? Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Get it? Self Deny! My name is not all capital letters. I am Apocalypse. I'm giving you, broadcasting you. I am Revelation, but I'm not no capital letter corporate. I don't go on dates with men. He said, don't lie with another man. I don't follow mandates. That's not a law. He blotted out the handwriting of ordinances. I'm not under the ordinances. I'm not under the law or codes because I'm not a corporation. I am Apocalypse. I am Revelation. That's what I do. I bring you the aletheia. You don't like it? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah, I'm going to keep bringing you these truths, but I have to take care of this, brothers and sisters. This is the measure he chose for me. I am Apocalypse, not some capital letter. Broad is the way. Broadway. Have you learned anything that I've taught you as your teacher, your pastor? Narrow, it starts with a capital letter, doesn't it? And then the second isn't. Are you getting it? Does anybody get the horn of plenty? Lesser than, greater than, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily. Take up your cross daily and follow after me daily. Anybody getting it? Anybody getting it? Is anybody getting it? I don't think anybody's getting it. Are you guys idiots? Please don't be idiots, because you can't. I've taught you. You can't be laymen. You can't be simple men. Women, you have been given this gift. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Who shall ever come after me? Are you a capital letter law name? Is your name written in all capital letters? You are on the broad way. That is the wide path that leads to hell, because you're all capital letters. Anyone want to answer me? I'm going to turn the comments off on this channel. Love you. I will. Don't even worry about it, moderators. You can't answer me, and I know they moderate this. I keep seeing stuff come up, but come on, guys. Is anybody understanding what, I am ministering you this gospel, and it says to deny self daily. It's a process. Broad is the way, and that is the capital letters, lady. Are you getting me? If you don't deny yourself, then you are all capital letters, correct? If you deny yourself, then you're first big lady, big L, smaller A, smaller D, smaller Y. So, anybody else understanding me? Thanks, Lady in Red. Even if you just get it, it wasn't in vain. Thank you. Love you. Seriously, I'm done with this, guys. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fighting this flesh every day just to stay here. So I have to make my time, use it wisely. I've been telling you, wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste mine. So broad is the way, brothers and sisters, that leads through the wide gate. And that is a capital letter law, capital letter name. If you don't get it, that's fine. I do not care. But I'm passionate about what I do. That's the Father's words, so you know. Through Matthew, through Luke, who shall be my disciple, take up your cross. Hope you're taking up your cross. So, broad is the way. Capital letter law. I'm not some corporation. Good luck with them prosecuting me. I never was arrested under capital letter Tracy John Werner. Nope. Never have I ever said that I was that man. I rebuke that man. I will never, ever be that man. I let my commercial license go, guys, too. I will never spend any time working for this corporation or giving it a dime ever again. After 30 years, I've let my CDO go. Pretty big change. I was always gave me job security. And wherever I went, I had a job. I have a job no matter where I go. I'm a teacher and I'm a pastor and I'm a minister. I don't need to make another dime ever again in my life. It's irrelevant. I'd rather my time than dollars. So appreciate your time. Hados, the narrow way. Thank you, Lady in Red. Love you, sister. I appreciate your time. Appreciate you answering and responding to me. Sometimes I swear like I'm talking to this wall behind me. It's a lonely life I lead, and I thank you, Father, for sending me Kevin out here, somebody to talk to and pass this on. I thank Father for being Kevin to be there the last time I went to court, be a witness to the hell that I've been put through by this county and the state and how this judge just mistreats me and how all these people mistreat me because I'm standing up for your rights on the other side of the screen as an American. If you're from this country, whether you like it or not, there are people who will do things for you, whether you'll do them or not. Okay? So, Josiah, you gotta quit being a little bit lolly. You're almost spamming the chat. I do appreciate your love for Father, but you're gonna have to actually produce a little more fruit other than lollipop Christian stuff. Okay? Seriously, much love, Josiah. I know you're coming here, you're learning, but you can't keep putting your lollipop stuff in here. I know you love God, but use the word agape. Quit using the word Jesus in here, please. Use another word than Jesus. You can randomly use Jesus. Okay? You can randomly use the word. All glory to Christ Jesus, the HaMashiach. Everything about my life, Shiloh. We call him Christ Jesus in this translated name, and the letter J was the last letter added to the alphabet. So Jesus Christ wasn't his name. His name would have been Isis. And it's okay. I know. I appreciate your, just don't ban her. Just please use some of the words that I've given you because you've been in here, Josiah. I know he sent you, not me. You're staying in here because he wants you to, and you have a hunger for the word. So I appreciate you declaring your love for the Father and the Son. Don't stop. Just be a little more, if you can, keep it to some of these things. And then, it'll help teach others who come in. What's this guy mean? I agape Shiloh. Huh? And the end of days, their agape will be pornea. Use the words I've taught you, please. Much love. Thank you for being here. I love seeing you in here. I love your passion for you're not. He said, if you deny, Josiah, this for you. This for you. If you deny me in front of your friends and your family in your public forums, I'll deny you in front of my Father. You're not denying your love for the Father. Hallelujah. Thank you, Josiah, for not being. He says most people are, hey, get a church, guys. What are you doing? Talking about it's not Sunday. Get a church, man. No, we do this 7 days a week, don't we, Josiah? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This 7 days, get a church. My what? We don't go to church. We come here. So thanks for coming back, Josiah. I just want you to, you've been refined here. You've been here long enough to be refined. It's a refiner fire. A refiner's fire. Iron sharpens iron. We use the word of God on each other, correct? Brother Josiah, we use the word of God. Agape your neighbor like you agape your enemy, and do not fall off yourself. Agape yourself. Love your neighbor like you love your enemy, like you love yourself. Put the word of God on your neighbor. Show them the narrow way. If somebody's on the broad way, brothers, sisters, show them in scripture. Well, it says, hey, we're not supposed to celebrate the traditions of men. That was all blotted out in the handwriting ordinances in the book of Colossians 2 and 14. Celebrations. You're celebrating birth. See? Oh, do you have a phone real quick? Let me see your phone. See, it says Christmas is pagan. We're not supposed to do pagan traditions. I know, and so are the lights. I know. I rebuke you. Bye. You don't have to try to change a goat into a sheep, but you do need to be getting up your cross daily, okay? If you don't learn anything from this channel and nothing is given you as the gift, Brother Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries and the Gospel, nothing else matters, brothers and sisters. Listen is your teacher and your pastor and your minister. Nothing matters but the gospel. Everything else comes secondary. It's adding to your faith. It says that in the book of Timothy. Faith is what gets us there, brothers and sisters. Faith, like Daniel, have put all your faith in Father. Not you can't serve two masters. He sent his son. Put faith in this testament. It is new. It's 2,600 years old. Plus, it's not old. He paid for in flesh, remember, to cover you. So don't wrestle against flesh. Paul said that. He was the last supper, wasn't he? They ate the sacrificial lamb. He was that little we do not do any of these things. You don't have to. You're not under the law. Celebrating anything is not going to get you're not going to be appeasing the Father. Oh, I did great works and I cast out demons in your name. Remember what he said? Depart from me. I never knew you, you worker of iniquity. We've all done it, brothers and sisters. We're all workers of iniquity. We've all done it. Let him pull you to his light. If I didn't call out to their hearts, 7-day Sabbath. That's why this is so important. If I didn't call out to their hearts to seek after me, I am Shiloh in the flesh. Remember, before Abraham was, I am. Not one of us from the foundation of the world, brothers and sisters. He's doing it. He's doing it. You're not doing it. Isn't that beautiful? You are not anything. He's If I, from the foundation of the world, did not call out to their hearts to seek after me, not one of them would. Let him do his work, and you let him push all these things. I know I don't understand sometimes. Even as a pastor and a teacher ministering this gospel, I'm still learning and teaching. Don't always understand what Father's doing in my life. But as I reminded my son, like a thief on the cross, son, we've got to let him use me. So especially, I warn you of these eyes, these two thieves, brothers, sisters, these two lying eyes that will take, he said, let no one take your inheritance. Your biggest enemy, brothers, sisters, is going to be not some cop, not some judge, not some wife, not some man. Is going to be you and your eyes, that you fall under these eyes. Please listen to me. We live in the age of the error, which is where those that will have their names called out in that book of life will be crowned in this age. I have 2,600 years to get it wrong. Probably. So yeah, I believe it'll be much sooner than that. Nobody knows the day or the hour, brothers and sisters. Be girded in his service, Maranatha, until he returns, correct? Hallelujah. Seriously, the gospel is more important than anything. Put all that other stuff to rest. The best thing you can actually do, brothers and sisters, is not even speak his word, in the sense that anything that you haven't 100% refined. Listen to me, please. He said, I am the Hados, I am the Aletheia, and I am the Orizo. I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the light. I've shown you how you find that truth. It's through definition, through transliteration. That's why he is the truth, and the light cannot be defiled. I already told you that. It cannot even accept. That's why he uses that 7-day gospel through me to teach you through Matthew and through his apostle Luke. One of his disciples, I'm going to turn this fake studio lights here, that our cross is what we need to be doing every single day. You know what I'm saying? We need to do this every day. So who cares if you deny me in front of your friends and your family, and I will deny you in front of my Father. You're not here to make friends, brothers and sisters. You are here to sup with those in the narrow way and put the love of God on everybody you come across, your neighbor, your enemy, and especially self, brothers and sisters. Self. Don't let no man take your crown, brothers and sisters. I already declared to you, I'm not some kind of prophet. The firmament declares the handiwork of the Father. I already showed you the Star of Bethlehem happened. I already showed you the Revelation 12 sign. I already showed you the Revelation 13 sign. I already showed you that 1024 alignment, the same thing that happened in 70 AD. There's been many more celestial markers left for us to have. There will be signs in the stars, sun, and moon, Genesis for times and seasons, and giving you the gospel. So you should be more than enough to understand, hey, he's nigh at the door. I need to live every day like he's coming back, because I could have been one of those people in North Carolina that died. And when he says, when the dead rise from the ashes and the dust, that could be 2,600 years from what I just said, correct? And that could be tomorrow. He said, when I return, because nobody knows the day. Brothers, sisters, listen, it's not like, oh my God, it's you could have died 150 years ago. And when the dead rise from the ashes and the dust, that's it. That's when he returns for you. That's your day. When the dead rise, everybody's doing it then. Everybody's doing it. I don't care who believes and who does not. Everybody will pass through that 7th book. Trumpet will sound that book of judgments, the 7th seal, the 7th horn. I don't care if they believe or not. That's when you will rise. That we don't know the day or the Maranatha until he returns. He said loins. Are you digging? Are you putting anything? Are you doing it? Belief is an action word. Believing in him, putting him highest, put that at the top of the house. Do not shine above others. Do not hide it in a basket. Brothers and sisters, this time is such a beautiful time. They spoke of this time thousands of years ago. I hope you're using your time wisely. Oh, yes, he did himself. He said there would be a great sign in the firmament. Yes, there would, of a virgin clothed with the sun, the moon at her feet. She would be travailing in birth, and a crown of 12 stars upon her head. Were you a witness? He gave it to John. He said it himself. He always declares 2 witnesses. Hallelujah. Always declares 2. I hope you're being a witness. a spiritual witness to this testament. Are you a living testament? Are you a living revelation? Welcome to the new age, brothers and sisters. The whole world is sleeping. He said the enemy came and sowed seeds broadcast while you were sleeping. He said, don't go to sleep. He said, be burning bright until he returns. Loins girded in his service. Correct? Oh, there's more action. Faith without works is dead, brothers and sisters. You put all your faith like Daniel. Don't let anybody tell you you can't serve two masters. What will be the sign of your return? Be sure no man deceives you. What the hell does that have to do with his return? Everything. Mammon, you can't serve two masters. Be sure no man deceives you, brothers and sisters. Be like Noah. Please listen to me. Girded in his service. Nobody knows the day or the hour. You're not here to make friends. He says, if you are loved by the world, Mammon, you be hated by my Father. Keep letting them push you, brothers and sisters. I got to go. I'll do this all night. You know this is what I forget about these worldly things. They don't mean anything to me. I love you. I love the gospel. I love you, Josiah. I appreciate you coming in here. That was just because I love you. I just want to show you I love him just as much as you do. So you know, okay, I appreciate your love and appreciate your comments. I don't mean to get on you. I just want to refine you. Okay, this is iron sharpens iron, brother. Okay, so just between me and you, that wasn't nothing personal. Like I don't care about anything that's happening in my life. I already peaked. I'm not done. God's not done with me. I'm not. I'm tired. Maybe it's the full moon tonight. I'm not into that in hocus pocus, but I just, brothers and sisters, it's a long day. I don't like calling the federal government. I hate the federal government. I don't want to have to call these. I don't want to, but I got a long haul to go. So thank you for your time. This is kind of a mixed evidentiary stream. Actually, this is an evidentiary stream. This is an update stream for you guys. So it's not, this is just an update on what's going on with me, with the legal logistics stuff. I'm out without counsel again. Uh-oh. My Father's my counsel. Nothing they can do to this flesh, brothers and sisters, is not going to be by the will of the Father. If he wrote all things, correct? Yeah, it was a super moon tonight. Okay, guys. So I want to teach you a little bit something about the moon when I come back the next time. Okay, about how this works. People don't understand how this works. Okay, let me just give you real quick. If the sun is hot in the sun, so you go into the shade where it's cooler. If you just reverse that, just so you know, this shouldn't seem weird, but it does. In the moonlight, it's colder and it's warmer in the shade. That's just the opposite. Cross it up. Sun, cool. Cold, shadow, shade, hot. It's hotter in the shade, it's cooler in the moonlight. It's hotter in the sun. Do you guys get that? Do you make sense what I'm saying? So if the sun shoots out positive electrons, protons, neutrons, that means we don't see the other side of the lunar phase because it's a ground. It's ground. It's negative. Dark light. Give you little gems. Brothers and sisters, the stars are so amazing. Laney and Red got it. She's like, holy crap, I got it. Isn't that weird? No, it's not. That's just the way it works out. Hot, cold, cold, hot. Right? So if that's a positive sun, then that's a negative moon. See why it doesn't move and spin? All right, love you. Hey, whatever. We got to do a little of the... I told you, brother, sister, look, I'm not saying I, as Daniel, was a magi and an astrologer and astronomer. I know these of old and want to show you what has happened. Cool. I love the Mayans, David. Love the Mayans. Love the Mayans called the Mayans called this star, just so you know, we'll give you one more gem. The Mayans called this star. What did the Mayans call this star? What did the Mayans call that star, David? What did the Mayans call this star right here? Yeah, there's more names for it. What did the Mayans call it? The Mayans knew the Kali Yuga and the Yuga cycles, 13th month, all these things I don't talk about here because it's not the gospel. I don't share much of this. That was the first largest Jovian gas giant of the four large Jovian gas giants. First being Jupiter, second Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Those are the four large Jovian that we talked about that line the stars and form that geometry that I told you. This is very neat to see this happen again at the time of Christ. We're seeing it again. Remember? So, anybody else want to take a stab at, and I better go, what they call Jupiter other than Jupiter? Hercolobus. Hercolobus. Like Hercules, Hercolobus. No, not Worman. That's okay. That's not, you can't get a wrong answer. Thanks for answering, Lady in Red. Again, appreciate you always commenting. They called it the Great Destroyer, or the planet of the crossing. The planet of the crossing, because it's potentially what, at one time, brothers, sisters, Saturn was pulled in of the power. I'm not going to go into on this. We can do that on another one. They called Jupiter, which is Melchizedek in scripture. This is what conjuncted forming the star Bethlehem. They called that the Great Destroyer. It's the first large gas giant. When it moves around, brothers, sisters, in our atmosphere, when it moves around, okay, it drags all the other. It has a magnetic, even though it's a gas giant, it's gas. It's not a rock. You can't land on Jupiter. It's a rock, right? No, it's a gas. Okay, it's not like Mars or like Mercury or like us. It's Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter. Those are all gaseous stars. God didn't create any planets. He only created the stars, sun, and moon. So, yeah, God didn't create one planet. Nope, not even one single planet. Isn't that amazing? People will use the word planet. Where'd they get that from? I don't know. They're adding to the word. They're Satanists. They are. It says you're the adversary. If you add a jot or a tittle, you're the adversary to Christ. So, Hercolobus, the Great Destroyer, or planet. Yes. Take that and stick it in your celestial pipe and smoke that. Planet X! These idiots are looking for a stinking solar planet, star outside our solar system, some brown giant. Jupiter is Planet X, you freaking idiots. You're idiots. All you people who teach this false celestial astrology. It's astronomy and astrology. I rebuke you, you celestial idiots. Planet X is Jupiter. Looking for something outside our solar system, and it's right here within our own. So look over here, don't look over here. What a bunch of idiots, man. How many people you know think Planet X is somewhere outside our solar system? Planet X is Jupiter. What a bunch of idiots. Hercolobus, the Great Destroyer, Planet X, Jupiter, the first largest gas giant of the four. You can't come against this celestial teaching. Boom. Bam. Shakalaka. You like that? A little teaching for you. The Mayans, go study them. Remember, they knew the Yuga, the Kali Yugas, all these cycles. They knew what Jupiter represents. I'm going to tell you one last time. It is the first largest Jovian gas giant, and when it moves, it does tug the other ones with it. So, Lady in Red, I want to set you straight about this. Lady in Red, there is the waters above and the waters below. There is no north and south space. No, there's not, because there's no heaven above our head, correct? And there's no earth below our feet. When God created the heavens and the earth, it wasn't above our head and below our feet, was it? You've been here long enough to know that. So he said, I am the Orizo, correct? East and west, outer space. Not outer space. Outer space. Horizo. Outer space. Outside the ice wall. They fly over a plane. That's where they get the name. Et. E.T. Plane et. Notice they never nose down. Interesting. You ever seen instrumentation? Horizo. Horizontal. Not. Oh, oops. Pilots know. So anyways, brothers, sisters, lady in red, when you think of space, I want you to think of the outer space. East and west, not north and south. You're starting to sound like a pagan and a Jezebel. Much love. So, no, I'm just kidding, lady in red. I'm just kidding. Remember the north and south aligning the south. Okay? Orizo. I am the Orizo. Outer space. The earth was always outer space before it was ever, here we go round in circles. Okay. So geocentric, not helios. All you have to do. That's right. Janus, January, February, all these gods. We're all Thor, Saturn, Kronos, yeah, all these markers. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys that pay attention to these. That's right. Outer space, not up and down. It's like everybody's up in space. Watch, it's going to come from below. Watch. And, oh, nope, not from above. Might come from outer space. Because that's what people do. It's called Jesus, Josiah. Their fake God is Jesus. Well, the baby manger Jesus. The other one that Paul warned us about. I love you guys. I gotta go. Yeah. So, okay. Please come back again when you have the time. Appreciate it. You want to leave a comment? Great. You want to give it a thumbs up? Great. Links in the description if you want to leave a monetary donation. Love you. Pastor Apocalypse, ministering in this gospel, brothers, sisters. Thank you for your time. Just wanted to give you a quick update. Appreciate everybody who made an appearance today, and your love of this word is the Father's watching you. He's always watching. He knows what the world doesn't see, remember? Isn't that so beautiful? You can't hide anything from him. There's a lot of things you wish the world would know about you, huh? Don't worry, the Father sees it. You know, not for glory, but just they don't see you, do they? Don't understand you. Keep being the black sheep, guys. I love you. I love you, my flock of sheep. As your shepherd, leading you, I will not lead you to death as these pastors, these wolf in sheep's clothing. I'll keep leading you to the gospel, okay? That's what he said. He told me my name was, I'm a shepherd. They think I'm a wolf, brothers, sisters. They think I'm a wolf. A wolf looks a lot like a dog, doesn't it? Big pointy ears, big fluffy tail, canine teeth. You think whatever. I could be a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'll tell you, my celestial sign is the Scorpizzo. You know what I'm saying? The Scorpizzo, the false teacher. He warns of false teachers and false prophets. Okay? Can't serve two masters. Be sure no man deceives you. All right? I love you guys. Much agape and phileo. See you again soon, the Lord willing. Thank you, Father, for this ministry and this blessing to have these ears and eyes that are seen, not deaf ears and eyes that the scales have been, not a bunch of sheep with a bunch of wool, but people who truly have an eye to see. I hope you saw what I was saying here tonight. The message rings clear, loud, and it doesn't fall, and I know it didn't, and this is such a blessing to have to sup with those in the narrow way. Stay in the walk, brothers, sisters. Nobody knows the day or the hour. Remember, you could die today, and it could be 100, 200, it could be a day, we don't know. When the dead rise from the ashes and the dust, please take this serious. I don't know when he needs teaching this. That is your day of his return. That is your day of his return. I want to find you girded in my service when I return. Why do I keep saying that to you? I want to find your lamps trimmed. Nobody knows they are burning bright, having so you can be. Don't hide it in a basket. Don't shine above others, right? Maranatha, until he returns. Nobody knows the day or hour. Any one of us could die tonight, brothers, sisters. That's right. You got what I'm saying. So it's 150 years from now. and he returns, bam, that's your return with him. I want you to be ready that day, 150 years from now. Not just today. Not just today. You see what I'm saying? Is that making clear? I hope that's very simple. I'm trying to keep this very basic, not to undertalk or overtalk you, so you understand what he means by have your loins girded in my service until I return. Because he would tarry, he said. He's been, all you preppers out there, you ain't got nothing on my Hamashiach. He said, I'm going to go to where my Father's house is at, is a house of many rooms. It must be a mansion, brothers and sisters. It must be a mansion. It has many rooms. And he said, I'm going to come back, okay? And I will receive you. I will redeem my bride. He's been prepping for over 2,600 years. Did you hear what I just said? He said, I'm going to prepare a place. Not prep for 2 days, not prep for 2 months, 200 years, 2,000, but over 2,600 years. The biggest prepper ever to grace this rock would have to be Shiloh, my love, the Hamashiach. He's still preparing that place. If you haven't figured it out yet, because he hasn't come back yet, has he? He's still preparing. Don't let anybody get you off your preparedness, please. Anybody want to doubt that? Don't let people tell you you're crazy because you're prepping. Remember, the biggest prepper is over 26. Isn't that awesome? Use that as inspiration. If you're preparing your ark, your house, your vessel, whatever, but think that Christ still hasn't even come back. He's not done preparing you. That place for you. Be ready. Be ready, brothers and sisters. Prepare ye, not the broad, the narrow way. Who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves daily. Who shall ever be my disciple? Take up your cross daily and follow. Do what I did. Conform to my image. Endure to the end to be saved. Follow after me. Okay? You got it? I love you guys. I love you so much. This word is such a blessing to hold in our hearts. Thank you for writing this on our hearts, not on tables of stone. You blotted that out. We're not under the physical law anymore, Father. Thank you for sprinkling it with the beard, blood, all the blood you shed, the sacrificial. So we're not under celebrations. We're not under nothing we can do to please you, Father, by our works. It's truly by our faith that we are saved. Isn't that beautiful? You've already been bought. Be not anxious. Nobody knows the day or the hour, brothers and sisters. Nobody knows the day or the hour. We have seen and have entered into the age of the heirs. In this age, the crowning of the kings, the meek, those that will inherit and rule this new world, new heaven, new earth, new body. The meek will inherit the earth, brothers and sisters. Not gnashing the teeth, but the kings of heaven will be ruled in this age that we are in right now. In the age of Aquarius. The firmament declared it, right? Not me. I told you what the firmament, the clock above your head, declares it. Not no mammon. Not on their twisted. It's 5785. You might want to get with the times. What in the you talking about 2024? Where the hell do you get that? You're going to tell me it's 2024, and then here in a month or so, you go out and bang pots and pans and say Happy New Year. You're twisted Satanists, and I rebuke you. You're not welcome here. Come back when you're 7. When you stop celebrating these Jezebel traditions of men. I love you. I know you guys don't do this. None of you guys are in this chat. Hopefully, if you do, you got some growing up to do. You got to be 7 is to be matured. You might want to go back and read in the scripture what 7 things you should be doing. I'll never tell you once. You got to go to Brother Jim. Not once. I give up the 7th king, but I will not tell you what those 7 things are. You've got to do that for yourself, brothers and sisters. As your shepherd, your teacher, your pastor, your minister. I cannot make you do anything. I can only lead you what it is that I do to try to be conformed to his image, show you what I, as a living revelation, living testament, am I. But I cannot make you do those, as you will not turn a goat into a sheep or a sheep into a goat. It's impossible. It was already written. You could have your name blotted out. But remember, be not anxious. It's written on our hearts. That law that we're under is not a physical. He blotted that out. But it is now not on stone. That's very important. He said, don't add or take away. That's the things he left us with, the last things. But remember that spiritual testament that we're under, brothers and sisters, is written on our hearts. All you have to do is ask. Ask, and you shall receive. Ask, and you shall receive. Seek, and you shall find. Knock. Hello, are you on the side of that screen? And I will come sup with you. Put your nose in the book. He will reveal these things to you. Yalathea. Come sup with others as brothers and sisters in the narrow way. Go see Brother Jim at Grace and Truth. You'll just refine. You'll add to your faith. Believe in him. Maranatha. One more broadcast for you guys. More seeds. Remember that mustard seed, what it can grow into. Little leaven leavens the whole lump. Let that cream rise to the top, brothers and sisters. We are the cream. We are the salt. Are we not? We are the remnant. We are the bride. We are that last generation. Are you a living apocalypse? I am. I'm Pastor Apocalypse. Are you a living testament under this new? Are you meek? Not weak. Be meek. Not weak. Speak up. Wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove. Love you guys. Whoa.